And welcome to the Credit Maximization Blueprint by me, Jesse Rodriguez. Today, what you're going to learn is how to read and understand your credit report, how to dispute and remove negative items, how to build or rebuild your credit profile, how to maximize your credit scores, how to apply for credit. And yes, there is special ways to do this, and most people are doing it wrong. How to always be approved. How to maintain your amazing credit once you get there. And how to build business credit and get funding when the time is right. This is me. My name's Jesse Rodriguez. I'm the Senior Credit Consultant for BetterCreditGuaranteed.com. I've been featured on shows like Real Estate Radio Network, Fox News, credit blogs, and more. And I've been doing this for 8 years, so I definitely know what I'm talking about, and I've learned quite a few tips and tricks while being in the trade for such a long time. I specialize in credit repair and restoration, business credit and funding, and credit score maximization. So here's part 1 of the Credit Maximization Blueprint. We're going to go over the rules and expectations, the basics of credit, how to get started, and advanced tips and tricks that you probably haven't heard anywhere else. So, welcome to the Credit Maximization Blueprint. First, I want you to stop. We need to go over rules and expectations. I'm just not going to give you this information without letting you in on the rules and expectations, because this information can be dangerous if it's in the wrong hands. Good credit is a lifestyle, so you really need to live it. You can't skip any step. If you do, it could be detrimental to your credit and your financial health. I expect you to live with integrity. Do not overextend yourself. Pay everything back. Anyone who's using this course to rack up a bunch of debt and then go file bankruptcy, I'm going to go after you, and that's not acceptable. I don't want you to fall for scams. You can't buy a new social security number, you can't create a new identity, and you can't buy a shelf corporation to fix your credit. So, last but not least, I will not tolerate any illegal activity. This information is for informational purposes only. Use at your own risk and with caution. If you agree to the terms, you may enter. Take notes. Here's the credit maximization steps to success. First, you check your credit. Then if there's any negative items, you repair your credit. Then you start building credit, and you maximize the credit that you've already built, and then you maintain it. The very last step is building business credit, and we'll talk about all of that and cover all of the steps in this course. Here I'm going to tell you about the credit basics. There are 3 major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Each bureau collects information about your credit habits and gives you a risk score. Your credit score is called a FICO score. FICO stands for the Fair Isaac Company, and it's a proprietary algorithm that determines your risk score. You can only get your real FICO score from a mortgage broker or from myfico.com. Any website that you use online to get your credit score from is going to give you something called an educational score. It's not your real FICO because FICO is a proprietary algorithm. Why is your credit important? Well, a person with good credit will save on average $4,300 per year versus a person with bad credit. Your credit's checked by employers, landlords, all insurance companies, meaning life insurance, car insurance, health insurance, and more. Auto dealerships, credit card companies, mortgage lenders, and a lot more. Don't let this be you. Someone less qualified than her stole her job. She aced the interview, her resume was perfect, the boss loved her, she had a clean background, even a master's degree, and they had her fill out the new hire paperwork. But she failed the credit check, and now she's still unemployed. How does your credit score work? 35% of your credit score is determined by your payment history. 30% is determined by your debt ratio. 15% is based on the length of your credit history. 10% is based on the amount of new credit that you have. And 10% is based on the mix of credit that you have, like the different account types. So, take notes. If 35% of your credit score is your payment history and 30% is your debt ratio, that means 65% of your credit score is based on your payment history and your debt ratio, and 35% is based on everything else. So what that means is make your payments on time and keep your debt low. So now, and this is section 1, we're going to talk about the very first step. Check your credit. Order a 3-bureau credit report, and I recommend that you do it monthly. Sign up for credit monitoring. It's typically between $15 to $30 per month, and it's an expense that you need to have. It alerts you the second something changes. It helps you catch mistakes before they turn into issues. It protects your identity. And I highly recommend Privacy Guard. What you want to do is pull your credit report and review it very carefully. Go over each account and check that the information is 100% accurate. Checking your own credit does not hurt your credit score or count as an inquiry. This is a myth. You can check your credit as much as you want and your score won't decrease at all. After you check your credit, go through and isolate the negative items. You'll see that towards the top of the report, there's a derogatory summary, and it's going to list out the amount of negative items you have with each bureau. Verify that all of your personal information is correct. Go through the derogatory summary, and note that every bureau does not report the same information. That's why you have 3 different credit scores, and the information is different between each bureau. Next, scroll down and review every account, and then mark the negative ones. For instance, this is a collection account. There's a current balance on here. The collection was opened in 2007, and it's currently reporting as unpaid. Next, list out all of your negative items on a piece of paper like this. So if it's reporting to Equifax and Experian, but not TransUnion, make sure that you don't put it in the TransUnion section. This is going to be important when we start our disputes. Listen up. This is going to be shocking to you, and that's why I want to stop you right here. Do not pay any of the negative accounts that are currently reporting on your credit report. I'm going to repeat that again. Do not pay any of the negative accounts that are on your credit report, especially collection accounts. Negative accounts are removed from your credit report after 7 years from the date of last activity. Paying an account is considered activity. And there's a huge myth out there that paying a collection account makes it come off your credit report. That is completely incorrect. When you pay a collection account, it can stay on your report for 7 more years, and that's pretty scary. Here's the proof. Here's a paid collection sitting on the credit report, hurting the score by 60 points or more. You can see it's a collection account from 2009 and it's paid, but it's still on the report. Next, do not talk to debt collectors. Avoid their calls. All of their calls are recorded. Don't speak to a debt collector if you do accidentally pick up the phone. What you want to do is say, "This is a work number. It's inappropriate for you to call me here," and then immediately hang up the phone. Debt collectors are governed by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act, federal laws that protect you, the consumer. Put simply, it states every account must report 100% accurate, timely, and verifiable. That means that they have to prove that they own the debt and that you owe them. Debt collectors are often in violation of several laws, and this is how you can get the debt removed for good. Next rule, do not apply for any credit. Applying for credit counts as an inquiry and can hurt your credit score. Never apply for credit unless you know you will be approved. Pre-approvals in the mail do not count. Do not apply for credit until you have a 720 or higher FICO score with no negative accounts reporting. You'll thank me later when you have lower interest rates and higher credit limits. Even if you meet these requirements now, do not apply without watching this whole series. And I'm going to tell you a little bit an advanced trick. Most banks and credit unions only pull a credit report and score from 1 out of the 3 bureaus. Review your credit report, find out which bureau has the highest credit score, and only apply at banks that use that credit bureau. Here's an example. This person has a 780, a 707, and an 804. I would highly recommend that they only go to banks that pull from TransUnion. Next step, you must opt out. The credit bureaus sell your information to banks and lenders who send you pre-qualification letters in the mail. Why should you opt out? Well, it stops the pre-qualification junk mail. It stops the bureaus from selling your information. And in my opinion, it increases the deletion ratio if you opt out before you send the disputes. Our records show that on average, there's a 17% increase in deletions. Here's how you do it. You're going to go to optoutprescreen.com and select the electronic opt-out. You're going to fill out your personal information and click submit. And that's it. You're opt-out. So here's the Section 1 recap. First, pull your credit report, list out all your negative items, opt out, don't pay or talk to any debt collectors, and last but not least, keep a positive attitude, because no matter where you're at right now, you've came to the right place you're going to get help, and you're going to beat this negative credit. In Section 2, we cover your legal rights as a consumer, basic disputing tactics, how to remove those pesky negative items, the pros and cons of doing it yourself, and the pros and cons of working with a professional. I'm going to teach you how to talk to debt collectors. I'm going to give you more advanced tips, tricks, and tactics, and more. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments or need assistance, you can reach me at bettercreditguaranteed.com. You can visit us on Facebook or YouTube, or if you're ready to sign up and you want a consultation to talk about your personal credit or business credit needs, you can call our 800 number at 800-216-2725. Thanks again for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you in Section 2.